Yo, top of the morning, man. Today is March the 10th. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. It's a 13-game slate for today. If you are someone who didn't get a chance to check out the night video, I did go through about 4 of the games. It's a couple games I'm just not going to go through because I just don't have any interest in betting at all. Just based on the teams and like not knowing who even wants to win. So skip a couple games, but I did go through 4 games last night. So check those out if you are interested. We're going to jump right into it for today. Coming off just a 1-0 day yesterday, I played Sacramento plus the 6.5, and it was a easy winner. They ended up losing the game on a Kawhi Leonard buzzer beater last night, but that's the only thing that I played. The short list did go 6-2. I think it was 6-2 yesterday. So hopefully some of the handicap was good for your own sports betting. And we'll jump into it for today, man. We'll jump right into it for today. Let's see. Adam says, morning, everybody. Made another classic blunder, sweating the Utah game plus 6.5 last night, cashed out in the third quarter. Yeah, they were playing really good. I know what you're talking about when the Clippers went on a little run, but runs are part of the game, Adam. You got to remember that. San Francisco, appreciate you for tapping in, bro. Vario says, Chris, Kyle's rubbing off on you. You're doing 2 shows within 24 hours. I just wanted to break them up so I didn't have to talk about 13 games today, Vario. That's all. I wasn't going to be able to talk about 13 games. Like, I was going to be too tired, and there's just so much going on. But we'll jump into the games for today. Appreciate you for tapping in, Vario. Good morning, Helping Hands. What up, PZ? What up, Reem? And says, hey, it's Miss Jackson. I hope you're not talking about myself. Miss Jackson? I don't know about that. But appreciate you for tapping in, AN. Appreciate you for tapping in. What up, Colin? Says 3-1 yesterday. Let's keep crushing it. Justin, my guy, what's up, bro? Hope all is well with you. Good morning, RJ. Says good luck, everyone. Let's cash. So let's jump into it for today. We'll start off with JaXon, as we always do, our AI sports betting buddy, our companion, our friend. They were trying to eat me up in the comments yesterday. I wasn't really trying, I don't really care. I'm not a sensitive guy. Like, it's not too many things you're gonna say. I've been doing this for 5 years, man. It's not too many things you're gonna say to me that's gonna, rub me the wrong way based on a comment. But I was just saying, like, how would you refer to JaXon? I just want to know, man. I just want to know. But anyway, let's get into JaXon for today. JaXon is an AI sports betting software that you can use. There's a 50% promo in the description of the video if you're interested in checking it out. Gave out 2 plays that JaXon liked last night, and I would take those with a grain of salt as the injury reports happened throughout the day. Today's prop was today's prompt was what are the 2 best bets in the NBA based on last 2 best prop bets in the NBA today based on last 10-game hit rate, something I don't really do too frequently, or prompt that I don't use too frequently, but I just want to kind of switch it up. So JaXon tells me that it likes Tamari Kamara, which this is probably why I don't bet it, why I don't play it. It says they like him over his 1.5 assists for the Portland Trail Blazers, and the odds are super juiced at minus 180 on DraftKings. So no way I'm probably getting down here. It says why to bet, high hit rate. Kamara has hit the over in 90% of his last 10 games, averaging 3 assists during that span. So maybe you take him at 3 assists. But I wouldn't play the minus 180. It says against the Warriors this season, he has a 100% hit rate with an average of 4 assists in that lone matchup. And the Warriors rank 25th in defense against his position, making this a favorable matchup for Kamara to distribute the ball efficiently. Season trends, he's over in 66.6% of his games this season, averaging 2.4 assists. And then the next one is Andrew Wiggins, over his 20.5 points and assists. Something I could potentially get behind here. So it says the odds are listed at minus 122 on FanDuel. Strong recent form. So Wiggins has been over in 80% of his last 10 games, averaging 22.9 points and assists during that stretch. Over his last 5 games, he's been even better, averaging 23.6 points and assists, 100% hit rate. The matchup advantage, the Charlotte Hornets rank 18th in defense against his position, which should allow Wiggins to continue his strong offensive production. While his season hit rate is 52%, his recent form and favorable matchup make it a strong play for Mr. Andrew Wiggins up and over his 20.5 points and assists. So that's what JaXon likes today. Tamari Kamara over his 1.5 assists, real juiced on DraftKings, and then Andrew Wiggins over his points and assists today. So 4 bets for JaXon for today. Let's see. Yeah, so that's what jaXon likes today. Like I said, check it out, man. Definitely save you a bunch of time on your research. So let's jump into it. A couple games. I think it might be 4 or 5 games that I'm going to go through today. First one we got up is the Denver Nuggets and the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I strong, heavily lean towards the under yesterday, which cast, and then towards the Oklahoma City Thunder. I thought that they would beat up on the Denver Nuggets, and they did just that. So now we got the rematch. One day later, we start off with the injury report, which I do think is paramount. This line has moved. Yesterday was 7.5. It's up to 9 now, which is typically not good for the team that lost. Typically, when these spreads get bigger, that team, the team that won the first one, typically wins the second one as well. So real quick on the injury report, let me just refresh. It looks like we have Aaron Gordon listed as game time decision. And that's important because he did lead a game yesterday and didn't return. And it's the same thing, right? Calf injury. That's what it has been for him. Without Aaron Gordon on the floor, I really don't want anything to do with Denver, especially against a really good an improving rebounding team, but also just from a defensive perspective as well. I think Aaron Gordon is needed. So I think he makes their offense better. If you've been watching him play, he's been knocking down a lot of 3-point shots in the games that he has played recently. So it makes sense to me that this line is going up. I know Denver has been really, really good on the second leg of back-to-backs. I know Denver is really, really good against teams they previously lost to. I don't really like that as much if I'm looking at Denver in this spot, though. OKC, you could tell that they take these games very, very serious at home. I gave out the numbers yesterday when they're a single-digit home favorite. They've been playing really good basketball. Like, they take those games super serious if they're what you would consider a shorter favorite. So I think the number that I gave out yesterday, so 13-3 straight up now, 12-3-1 against the spread if they're playing at home and not laying double digits, including 8-0 straight up, 8-0 against the spread. They've held 11 of their last 16 opponents under their team total. And this total is a lot lower than it was yesterday. Remember, yesterday it was 244.5. It's down to 239 now. So that would say that, Phoenix probably plays a little bit better. I'm sorry, not Phoenix. OKC offense may not look as good as it did yesterday, or that Denver's offense may not look as good as it did yesterday. And they was held to 103 points yesterday. So, I kind of like OKC again. Like I said, I know Denver's been really, really hot. Real quick, I want to look at the Nuggets. I'll just give you all the trends real quick. So the Nuggets are 11-1 straight up, 9-3 against the spread on the second leg of a back-to-back. If they're a dog, they're 4-1 straight up, 4-1 against the spread. So the numbers say that they bounced back. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think the Thunder could get the job done. Let's see. Thunder they've only played the same opponent twice, like back-to-back once, and that was the Minnesota Timberwolves. And they did lose that next game, 128 to 131 earlier there. And it's actually just right after the All-Star break, actually, on February the 24th. So there's some trends that actually point towards Denver here. I think if Denver, let's see real quick, previous opponent team equals opponent team. And if they lost the first matchup, they are 2-0 straight up. They beat the Grizzlies in this spot on the second leg of in the second little head-to-head series, and they beat the Spurs in this spot. I remember them losing to the Spurs in Denver and then going to San Antonio winning. Also remember them getting smoked by the Grizzlies without Jokic, and then they beat the Grizzlies without Jokic as well. So Nuggets do turn up in this spot. I just think OKC is a little bit different beast than the Grizzlies and the Spurs at their times, respectively. If we look at just real quick, I want to go through one more thing. So Denver has the Timberwolves on deck next. They play on Wednesday. And OKC has a game in Boston. And that game is on Wednesday as well. But they have covered 5 of their last 6 games now. OKC kind of rounding in the form. Defensively, they've been playing really well. 103 points to Denver, 89 points to Portland, 103 to Memphis. Like, defensively, they're starting to get it together, and they played in 3 straight unders as well. So makes sense that the total's going down. It also, like I said, I would probably be looking towards, I think you can still get an 8.5 And that's probably be the way that I would look at this game. I think Denver's going to struggle to score basketball again. So I like under, and I like OKC if I'm betting this game. Have not bet either, though. Let's see what the thought process is here. And SGA over his points was so easy yesterday. He had 20 at halftime. Let's see. What up, Real DJ X? What up, Fear Elite? Appreciate you for tapping in. Helping Hand says I cashed on Shea over 1.5 threes. Run it back. Okay. Yeah, Shea's been taking, it feels like, a lot more. So I agree with you there. Adam says I did take the points with Denver. Come on, Chris. Nuggets keep it close. I mean, that's I feel like that's supposed to be the play, right? Nuggets in the bounce back spot, Adam. Like I don't think it always happens that way. That's my point. With the line getting bigger and Aaron Gordon probably not playing, like I'd be looking towards the Nuggets, the Thunder again. I think they can bury the Nuggets again. But like I said, I didn't play the game. I stayed off of the game. That's just the way that I'm looking at it right now, based on the injury report. Like, I don't want nothing to do with Denver if they don't got Aaron Gordon, in my opinion. I think OKC can win this one as well, but that's just my thought process. John says OKC gonna win again. Joker 50%. Jason says honestly, like yesterday, live bet decides. Yeah, it's a couple good plays to live bet yesterday for sure. All right, let's go to the next one. We got the Phoenix Suns and the Memphis Grizzlies. I kind of wanted to go through this one. So we start with the injury report. Both of these teams, of course, on the second leg of a back-to-back game. It looks like Phoenix has, Cody Martin listed as he was listed as out yesterday with a sports hernia. We'll see if he's available today. And then on the Memphis side of things, it will be interesting to see if Santi Aldama and Luke Kennard end up playing in this game. I'm not expecting Jared Jackson Jr. to return. I don't think he's going to be back. So Phoenix took care of the business yesterday. They did get a win yesterday in Dallas. And then Memphis also got a win, a 3-point win, though, against the Pelicans. Pelicans actually came out, shot the ball really, really well. I think they hit 9 threes in the first half. They only averaged 10 for the full game. So Phoenix, for whatever reason, Memphis been coming out the gate really slow. They did the same thing against Dallas on Friday in their ESPN game. And then they've been kind of putting their foot to the pedal in the second half, at least more recently. They've been a fade early. So I'm looking at the game, man, and y'all, like, if you've been watching the show, you know I'm typically not wanting to bet on the Phoenix Suns. I kind of think Phoenix can keep this game close, though. I kind of do, man. I know that Memphis, I just don't want to play on Memphis without Jared Jackson Jr. for one. I think if Luke Kennard and Santi Aldama don't play, that's a lot of offense that you're missing. And we saw the Pelicans, slow down this team last night. It's not like Phoenix is a defensive juggernaut. Like, that's not what I'm banking on if I'm banking on playing Phoenix here. It is their offense. And I think that they could, I know Memphis has been playing a little bit better defense, but I think Phoenix can keep this one within the number. Like, if I'm playing it, I'm not playing it though, but if I am playing it, I do agree with the total coming down from 244.5 down to 242.5. It looks like 243 is out there as well. I know both of these teams are very, both of these teams are really, really good offensively as far as efficiency goes. But like I said, if Memphis is going to be missing all those pieces, and Phoenix plays a lot slower than Memphis does, I could see this game going under, especially with both teams on the second leg of a back-to-back. Real quick, one more thing I wanted to look at for the Phoenix Suns. So yeah, Phoenix has won all 3 matchups this season. They covered the last 2. Memphis has covered the last. Memphis has won all 3. Memphis covered the first 2, did not cover the last one, and it was very similar line. They were laying 6.5 points in Memphis, and Phoenix actually took them to overtime, won the game by. Memphis ended up winning the game by 3. So 2 unders, 1 over, and Memphis has. So you can say Phoenix got triple revenge in this spot, and it feels like they had to do less yesterday. Both teams got to travel today. Phoenix, got a win by 11 points or 9 points in Denver, in Dallas, and Memphis only won the game by 3 yesterday. And they actually could have ended up going to overtime. Kelly Olynyk hit that 3-pointer to tie the game at the end. He had a clean look at it too. So 3rd straight road game for Phoenix. They do got Houston on Wednesday, and then Memphis Second leg of a back-to-back, third game in 4 nights as well. They got Utah coming into town on Wednesday, so we'll see. And like I talked about it yesterday, I thought Ja Morant could potentially miss the game because he was talking about how much pain he was in on Friday, but he ended up playing. So we'll see how it goes, man. I do think that I think Phoenix can keep it within the number, though. I really, really do, especially if Memphis is doesn't have all the guys. So we'll see how that goes. Blunt says Suns won't see my money ever again, Chris. It's only Memphis here. I get it, Blunt. I get it. I try to think, I try to think both ways, man. I try to think both ways. I don't really want to lay too many points with Memphis right now. 1-8-1 against the number. And, the -4 could look 4.5 could look like a layup for most. But like I said, I'm not really liking what I'm seeing from Memphis. Remember, when they beat Dallas, it was only because they went on that run on Friday night to close the game and cover the spread by 11. So, yeah, I understand, Blunt. Like this is the worst of two evils. I wanted nothing to do with Phoenix either. But if I'm playing this one, I think I am taking the points, thinking they can keep it within the number. Maybe even just first half. Phoenix has actually covered 3 straight games. Don't look now. Don't kill the messenger. 4 of their last 5 games. And I know I'm not a big component, but offensively, they've been really good. 125 against Dallas. And I know that's Dallas. 141 against Denver. Even though that game ended up going to overtime, they got 119 against the Clippers, came back and won that game. So, yeah, they have covered 3 straight, and they're getting points on the road here. Much better than laying points. So that's my thought process on this one. Adam says, I'm riding with Phoenix plus 5.5. Booker over his 7.5. Dom, Sharp, all over Phoenix. Memphis has been terrible ATS. Just said it, Adam. I agree. Justin says he'll go Memphis team total up and over 123.5. Not a bet on Grizzlies, but fading the Suns off a back-to-back. So I feel like the Suns off a back-to-back. Let's see what that looks like real quick, Justin. The Suns and rest equals 0. Suns are 3-10 straight up, 4-8-1 against the spread on the second leg of a back-to-back. Let's see if they're a dog, because I feel like they've been favorites a lot. If they're a dog, they are 1-6 straight up, 3-4 against the spread, losing by about 8 points per game. They've covered 2 of their last 3, though. Covered against the Warriors, covered against the Rockets. Yeah, if I play Phoenix, it's based on the Grizzlies struggling defensively, Grizzlies also being on the second leg of a back-to-back, and Memphis being a little more healthier. That's my thought process. Miranda says Suns plus 5.5 as well. Let me find out people betting the Suns. Dante says Suns need this game to slide into the playoffs while the Mavs crash out in the 10th spot. Yeah, that's a fact, Dante. That's a fact. The rant from Miranda over 24.5 points. Bradley Beal over 16.5 points and assists. And Devin Booker over his 6.5 assists. Okay. Adam says he likes Bill over his points. So 3 plays in this game. Let's go Suns. They're off the do not bet list. Okay. Helper Hand says if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Give me Jalen Wells over his 3.5 rebounds. Been cashing this a lot lately, but the number has always been at 2.5. Guess the book's catching up. I was thinking, it's so crazy. I don't want to spend too much time on this game, but I was thinking about when I saw Luke Kennard was ruled out yesterday and I saw Santi Adama, I said somebody has to step up and somebody's going to go over their points prop. I just didn't know who it was going to be. I had no idea who it was going to be. And I watched that game yesterday for against the Pelicans and saw Jalen Wells was having a really big game. Also, real quick, do your own research, but and look into this. Desmond Bane almost had a triple-double last night, and his rebounds and assists been absolutely free. And I don't even use I don't throw a word on the free word, but his rebounds and assists, I think it was 12.5 yesterday. If they're going to be shorthanded without other players, look at Desmond Bane assists plus rebounds. It was 12.5 yesterday. I didn't really dive too deeply into it, but matter of fact, let's go look at it real quick. Let's go look at it. Stop all this talking. Let's just go look at it. Desmond Bane up and over his points plus assists. I'm sorry, rebounds plus assists. If we get if we get those guys sitting out, I think Bane, it's not like it's a bunch of great defense on the other side. So this is Outlier for people that are new. There is a link in the description. Check it out. 7-day free trial if you're interested. Desmond Bane rebounds and assists was something that I had on my short list yesterday. Didn't bet it though. But look at this. So 4 of his last 5 games, it's not like it's even close either. Like 16, 20, 22, and 17. He had 9 and 8 last night. Then he had a career high 16 rebounds against Dallas on Friday with 6 assists. And I just think without Jared Jackson Jr., the number is probably still going to get better. So games played without Jared Jackson Jr. Then you got Luke Kennard, Santi Aldama. So he's only played 5 games without. Let's see real quick. He's only played in 5 games overall, and last 2 he has been crushing. Look at the potential assists. 6, they don't have it up for last night's game. But look at the rebounds. 26 rebound chances against Dallas. And they don't got the rebound chances up on here either. But yeah, Desmond Bane rebounds and assists, I think is something that I would definitely be looking into in this game as well. Thinking about player props. I forgot to even write that one down, but like I said, it was on my short list for yesterday. So I think we did a pretty good job in this game. I know it's ugly, but I'll probably be taking Phoenix, man. What up, Doms? Appreciate you for tapping in. Blunt says, ooh, Chris is buying the Sun. I didn't say I got a bet on him, but that's the way that I would be playing them, though. What up, Jose? By the way, Josh points 27.5. He's going under that, in my opinion. His shots not he's not making shots. I think he's getting shots. Yeah, he is getting shots up. But I think off volume alone, if the other guys don't play at him, he may have to get there. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it is second leg of a back-to-back. He already mentioned not feeling well. So we'll see. Next one up, the Mavs and the Spurs. So injury report here. This is a gross game, but injury report here. We got PJ Washington. Actually, not officially. He hasn't been rolled out yet. He was rolled out of the game yesterday. Of course, the second leg of a back-to-back for Dallas. I'm not sure if Kai Jones is going to play, if Jaden Hardy is going to play, and if Brandon Williams is going to play. I know that they lost Dwight Powell yesterday. I don't think he returned. And Brandon Williams also got rolled out of that game yesterday after getting hurt as well. On the San Antonio side of things, you kind of got to wait on the injury report as well. That's why I really don't like handicapping these back-to-back games. But they just got smoked. As we talked about it, I should have put some money. It looked so easy to take Minnesota team total over yesterday, and it was. I think this game is an absolute track meet. You got both teams on the second leg of a back-to-back. Dallas has been god awful defensively since the All-Star break. Real quick, let's just pull that up. I know that their offense hasn't been that great either, but I kind of feel like, just think about this, right? You got the Mavs and the Spurs. Think about the centers. You don't really got any. So I think it's going to just be up and down, back and forth. And the total is going up from 225.5 up to 229. I talked about, Philly and OKC in the same type of spot yesterday. Just 2 bad defenses. I'm not trusting in either one of these defenses. Mavs, since the All-Star break, 2-7 straight up, 2-7 against the spread. They have allowed 4 of their last 5 opponents to go up and over their team total. Suns just scored 125. Grizzlies scored 122. Bucks scored 137. Kings scored 122. And the Bucks scored 132. So they're giving it up. Like, I don't got to look at a defensive rating to see that. And then on the opposite side, the Spurs, they haven't been playing great defense either. Only 3-7 straight up and against the spread since the All-Star break. They played in 5 straight overs themselves. They just gave up 141 last night to the Timberwolves. Boy, that team total was like 118.5. 141 last night. The Kings scored 127. The Nets scored 113. The Thunder scored 146. The Grizzlies scored 128. It's just not a lot of defense being played, man. Not a lot of defense being played. Real quick, let me just go look at my numbers, and I'll tell you what these defensive ratings are specifically. I think the game's going to be played really fast. Let's see what the pace numbers look like real quick. San Antonio and Dallas. And I probably laid the points with San Antonio too, just because Dallas is an absolute fade. So San Antonio is 3rd in offensive rating and 30th, dead last. The San Antonio Spurs are defensive rating last 5 games. That's the recipe for over. When you can, their games are averaging 55 points in their last 5 games. So offense great, defense the worst. Yeah, and they playing 16th fastest pace against the 3rd strongest strength of schedule. Dallas is 6th worst offense, 2nd worst defensive rated team, playing at the 11th fastest pace against the 13th strongest strength of schedule. It's over in this game for me, more than side, but I do think San Antonio probably should be able to win the game here. Dallas just kind of running out of bodies. They're running out of bodies, man. So that's my thought process in this game. Even with the total going up, I probably still get there. Maybe we'll see how it goes, but you can get a 6.5 too. Dallas has not covered a spread. I know San Antonio hasn't covered it either, but Dallas hasn't covered a spread in their last 3, 4, 5. Their last 5 games, they failed to cover every spread. Lost by 9 last night, by 11 to the Grizzlies, by 30 to the Bucks, by 24 to the Kings, by 15 to the Bucks. So not only haven't they covered a spread, they pretty much lost by double digits in every single one of them also. So the Spurs also failed to cover back-to-back games, but they played the strongest of the schedule against the Kings and the Timberwolves. So give them a little bit of slack, I guess. I know that they aren't great without Wemby, but yeah, it's over or Spurs minus the 6.5. Agree with this number coming up for sure. Let's see what we are thinking here. Miranda says Fox over his 20.5 points. Couldn't talk you off. Running Barnes over his 3-point prop again. Forced to bet. I'm taking the points. Hard pass, Adam says. Over for Jose. Has the line gone up 2 points, Adam says? It's gone up more. It opened 225.5, is up to 229. I see a 228.5 on the board too. Appreciate that, Gant. Well, not appreciate it. I'm just appreciate you for tapping in since I can't lie, I won 1K off your first 3 picks yesterday. First 3 picks was 5. I think I hit the first 4 or 5 picks in the short list. I didn't even play any of those, if I'm being honest with y'all. I just get tied up after doing the show. Like, I'm very locked in on the show when I'm doing the show. When I'm not doing the show, I'm not thinking about sports betting, and that's part of the problem. Is that I don't know who's in and who's out. Then I get the worst of the number and I'm like, I'm good. I'll stay off. I just try to be disciplined. But I'm glad you've been winning, man. Love to hear that. Let's see. OKC -7 and under in the over in Phoenix and Dallas. Yeah, easy. It was easy yesterday too. I didn't make $1 off of them, but I'm glad you did. All right, next game up and last game on the board for this slate. Again, if you joined late, I did do a show last night. Go check it out. Well, no, this is actually not the last game. I'm going to go through New York and Sacramento too, but go back and check out the video from last night if you want to hear Lakers in Brooklyn, Philly and Atlanta. That line is gone now, but Philly and Atlanta I talked about last night. Utah and Boston I talked about last night. That number's going up as well. And Houston and Orlando I talked about last night as well. So those 5 games from last night, go back and check out the video from last night if you're interested in those. So now we got Portland and the Golden State Warriors. Both teams, well, Portland on the second leg of a back-to-back. Deni Avdija did not play last night. It's going to be interesting to see if he plays. That, of course, changes everything, in my opinion. He missed the game last night for what reason? He missed it because he had a quad injury. So we'll see if he plays. That was the second straight game that he missed. Portland, of course, on the second leg of a back-to-back. Aiden did not play last night. We'll see if he plays. Robert Williams did not play last night. We'll see if he plays. On the Golden State side of things, they should be pretty healthy. Kuminga is ramping up. I think he's not going to play tonight, but he should play within this homestand that they got. The Golden State Warriors, I think this is the second game of a 7-game homestand. They beat the Detroit Pistons, did not cover that number on Saturday, and now they will be without Porzingis, but they should have everybody else available. 11-1 straight up with Jimmy Butler on the floor. Is this too many points though? Do we think Golden State can win this game by 12? Man, I think it's highly dependent upon if Deni Avdija is going to play. Deni Avdija didn't play yesterday. Detroit came into Portland, punched them in the mouth so quick. I mean, they were up 17 points, I think, in the first quarter at some point. They did battle back in that game. Ended up, they didn't cover the spread, but they did get it within 2 possessions late in the fourth quarter. So, I just don't know if Golden State wants to absolutely dominate these games. We just saw Golden State come back home and not cover the spread. If Deni Avdija plays, I do feel like it's too many points. I'll be honest, I think it's too many points. I love Golden State. I need them to keep winning. I got them to make the playoffs. I got their season win total over, and I just don't know if I want to lay 12 with them though. They have owned this Portland Trailblazers team. They've won 9 of the last 10. They covered the earlier game, 140-104. This is when Portland was terrible at basketball. They were laying 7.5 in Portland. And I want to say they won the second leg of a back-to-back, if I remember correctly. Portland, 3 straight losses, 3 straight non-covers. They got smoked by Boston, got smoked by OKC, lost to Detroit last night, didn't cover that number. and they got the Knicks on Wednesday. The Golden State Warriors have won 4 in a row, covered 3 of the last 4, and are 7-2-1 against the spread. I think when I was looking at this last night, they got a divisional matchup against the Kings, but they don't play again until Thursday. So they got, a couple days off before they play in the Portland Trailblazers on the second leg of a back-to-back. So Portland has been good on the second leg of back-to-backs. Real quick, let's see what that number looks like. Trailblazers. I kind of thought under, just giving y'all my thought process on this. I kind of thought under. Portland is 6-4 straight up, 8-2 against the spread playing the rest of the season. They've actually covered 7 straight games, have the Portland Trailblazers on the second leg of a back-to-back. They're also 8-2 to the under on the second leg of a back-to-back. They've 1, 2, 3, 4. They've held 4 straight opponents under their team total. They've gone under their team total in 3 to 4 games. That's what I was kind of thinking. The total has come down from 232 down to 230.5. I know the one thing that scares me is Portland plays so fast, though. But you can kind of, I guess you can keep banking on Golden State to play really good defense. They locked up Detroit in that last game, held them under the total. We did cash on a full game under in that spot. So real quick, let's look at Portland. Let's look at Portland and Golden State. So Portland has slowed down a little bit. I think a week ago when they were playing last Sunday, when they were playing in Cleveland, they were number 1 in pace. They are 14th in pace over the last 5 games. A lot of that probably has to do with Denny Avdi. I feel like he gets out, try to push pace. Golden State playing at the 10th fastest pace as well. So it's not like they've been playing slow. And Golden State is still the 5th best defensive rated team over the last 5 games. What's the team total for Portland specifically? Maybe they struggle to score the basketball again. Portland team total is 109.5. Maybe they stay under the 110, and maybe Golden State doesn't need to get to 122. I think I still lean a little bit more towards the under. I think I like the under, man. I think I like the under. Let's see if you guys could talk me off or on to anything here. Adam says 12 points. 12? I know Golden State has been rolling, but look at Portland on back-to-backs. I just said that. They have been covering for sure. Real quick, let me just look at the Warriors. I feel like you the Warriors are 2 different teams, in my opinion. They are not the same team that they were. So I just want to see what they are as double-digit favorites. They lost to the Nets outright earlier this season. If they're a double-digit home favorite. Didn't cover against the Wizards. They were laying 14, won that game by 8. Beat the Jazz and covered by half a point. And then they did smoke the Hornets, beat the Hornets by 36. They were laying 17 points. So that's the more recent version. And we'll see. They are playing hard. I don't know. I think it might be where it's supposed to be. Mark, what's up, Mark? Good morning, bro. Hope all is well with you. He says he did play under. I like under too, Mark. I do like under, man. I think the under is the right play. Portland can struggle to get to 110. Golden State also, I'm not necessarily going to say they're going to struggle, but Portland defense has, we'll see. I want to see what happens with Denny Avdia. Hip Hop Sports World says Warriors in the first half and first quarter. What up, G421? Says, does the Warriors go over their points, maybe team total? I think is what he's trying to say. I like under a little bit more, G421, but I haven't played it yet. I'll see what happens. This is one of the later games. Jose says he likes under as well. Okay, so under. I think I agree with under as well if I'm playing. Maybe a look towards Draymond as well. I know we talked about this on Saturday. Draymond over his points, rebounds, and assists. I think JaXon gave it out on Friday or whenever they played. Draymond's been really killing it. Like he's just been an integral part of the offense, scoring, rebounding, facilitating. Hopefully it's not one of those games he overlooks because he's talked about that before, like previously on his podcast about trying to get up for some of the teams that aren't playing really well. So his points, rebounds, and assists right now for Draymond are listed at 24.5. Yeah, he's been crushing it. Over in 7 of the last 10 games. Looks like he's gone over in 6 of the last 7 games as well. The game that he missed, he finished right on the hook against Brooklyn. I think he actually went over. He was listed at 22.5 against Brooklyn. So the number has come up a little bit from 22.5 to 24.5. He's been clearing that too, barely clearing it in a couple games, but he has played really, really well. Draymond's been a vital part of the offense for sure. So maybe even a look towards Draymond over his points, rebounds, and assists. And then last game on the board, we can go through this one really quickly. I didn't look too deeply into it. I do know that we got the Knicks and the Kings here. I do know that the Kings actually opened as a 1-point favorite. It's now flipped to them being a 3-point home dog because they went to overtime last night. The total has come down from 224.5 down to 221 as well. So I wanted to see how the Kings perform on the second leg of a back-to-back. But before we do that, we got to talk about the Knicks. 1-4 against the spread in their last 5. They have dominated this matchup specifically against the Kings. 8-2 straight up, 8-2 against the spread. They've won and covered the last 3. And they did smoke the Kings in New York earlier this season, 143-120. They were laying 5 in that game. And total did go up and over to 234. Of course, these are two very different teams. No Malik Monk now. Sabonis won't play. No De'Aaron Fox now. And then on the Knicks side of things, of course, no Brunson either. So got to take a little bit of that with a grain of salt. The Knicks have won 5 of their last 10 games. They've lost 3 in a row, failed to cover 4 in a row. Only 1-9 against the spread in their last 5 games, 7-3 to the under. And I guess I kind of agree with the total continuing to come down. Looks like it's dropping from 221 down to 220. We know that the Knicks are going to have to show up and play defense, in my opinion. And I think the Kings do as well. The Knicks got Portland and Golden State to finish out the road trip on Wednesday and Saturday, it looks like. And then, but this is the third straight road game. On the Kings side of things, second leg of a back-to-back with travel off the overtime game. They made me some money last game. 6-4 straight up, 8-2 against the spread in their last 10. They've covered 7 straight games, have the Sacramento Kings. And they got a big game against Golden State, but that's not until Thursday in Golden State. So not a lot of travel, honestly, either. Like to get from into a dome to Sacramento, not too far of a travel. I want to see what the Kings are unrested real quick. Kings are Kings are 4-7 straight up, 3-8 against the spread, playing unrested this season. 7-4 to the over. They failed to cover 3 straight. Dropped 1 against the Nuggets, against the Trailblazers, and against the Pelicans. Let's see if they're coming off an overtime game. They are 4-2 straight up, 3-3 against the spread. 4-2 to the under as well. And that's what it really comes down to for me. They are they're playing really good defense, man. I think maybe still under. Maybe still under. I expect this game to be played pretty slow. Let's go through real quick and just match these two teams up on the floor, and then we'll get into the comments and a quick recap. So let's first start with if the Knicks should be able to score the basketball against the Kings, because the Kings defense has been really, really good recently. So Knicks and Kings, Sacramento. Understanding that, this Kings team is not, this Knicks team is not the New York Knicks team that we known for the full season without Jalen Brunson being there. So just make sure, injury report is exactly what I thought it would be. All right, so matching the teams up on the floor real quick, we got a Knicks team that is the 5th best offense over the full season. Crazy enough, the worst offensive rated team last 5 games. 106.6 offensive rating last 5 games is what the Knicks offense has been. Last in effective field goal percentage. The Kings are the 5th best defense, 7th best in effective field goal percentage. The Knicks 8th in offensive rebound rate. Kings 5th in rebound rate allowed. So if the Knicks get a lot of second chance opportunities, that should be taken away here. Knicks living in the mid-range. Probably a lot of this has to do with Brunson, though. A long mid-range, the 11th in frequency, 4th in accuracy. Kings number 1 in opponent mid-range accuracy last 5 games. So I like the matchup for the Knicks, for the Kings defensively. The Knicks also not pushing pace. 24th in transition frequency, 27th in efficiency. Worst offensive rated team are the Knicks. They are 6th best in defensive rating though, and they have played the second strongest strength of schedule, and they playing at the 26th fastest pace, or you could say the 5th slowest pace. The Kings on the other side of things, let's see if they should be able to Yeah, Kings defense has really improved from the 3-point line. On the full season, they're terrible. Last 5 games, they've been really, really good. So if we look at the Kings versus the Knicks, we flip it. The Kings are 8th in offensive efficiency, 2nd in turnover rate, so doing a really good job taking care of the basketball. I talked about this yesterday when I said I liked them against the Clippers. Lived in the mid-range, number 1 in mid-range frequency, 10th in accuracy last 5 games. Knicks have been solid, top 10 defensively in both shot zones there. Sacramento also 5th in paint frequency, 11th in accuracy. And the Knicks defense has been really good there, 6th in opponent paint frequency and 5th in opponent paint accuracy. So this could be a game where both teams really struggle to score the basketball. Sacramento also 27th in transition frequency, even though they have been efficient, 6th in efficiency. So they aren't pushing pace frequently, but if they do, they have been scoring Sacramento. Sacramento 9th in defensive. Well, yeah, no, that's not right. 7th in offensive efficiency, 5th strongest strength of schedule. So both teams played a really strong schedule. Both teams playing bottom 5 in pace, or bottom 6th in pace. Offense has been good for the Kings. Defense has been good for both teams. I like under. And it's literally dropping from 220 down to 219 and a half. So maybe I'll go ahead and put a little bit of money on the under. I think, just live cap that one. I like the under here. Let me see where I can get the best number as it continues to drop. I think I'm gonna put a few dollars on the under right now, actually. If I can find something that hasn't moved too much. Let's see real quick. It's live capping. A little live cap on the show. Yeah, you still can get under 220 and a half on ESPN Bet according to my my live Eyes Jam screen. So I'm gonna actually play that right now because I don't think this total is gonna go back up throughout the day. We'll see if it actually does, but I'm gonna actually play that right now. I'm gonna play under in this game. Just makes a lot of sense based on how I'm looking at it and what the numbers are saying for me. I know I'm not getting the best of the number, but I think it continues to drop. So I'll play under real quick. And that'll be it. Let's jump into a quick recap. Then we get up off here. So we got So these are the plays that I talked about yesterday, that I talked about liking yesterday on the late night show. Go back and watch that video if you're interested in the handicaps for any of these. As far as the games for today, the things that we talked about on this show, let's see. I think OKC minus the 9. I still think OKC runs it back and wins that game by double digits again against Denver. I also would lean towards the under. Excuse me. I know it's ugly. Phoenix plus the 5. I think the 5 is the best number that you can get. Dallas, San Antonio over 228. It looks like it's available still. It is up to 229 and a half on some books. I may lock that one in as well. Slight lean towards Portland and Golden State under. I don't know if I actually get there and play that. Under 230 and a half, it looks like it's the best number now. Yeah, and then I did just play the Sacramento Kings and the New York Knicks. You can still get a 220 and a half if you got FanDuel. If you got ESPN Bet. The number is moving though. It's down to 219 and a half on a couple books. So live play that I actually did make is New York and Sacramento under 220 and a half. So if you're new to the show, the red plays are plays that I'm considering. I typically don't make a lot of bets early in the day because of the injury report and how manipulative it can be. But if you see green, that means that I have made the play for people that are new to the show. So I just locked that in 220 and a half. So that's what I'm liking so far for today. I mentioned some player props that I liked as well. Desmond Bane up and over his rebounds and assists potentially. We'll see what happens with the injury report with Memphis. And Yeah, that'll be the show for today. I think we did a pretty good job of handicapping it all. Resources are all here. jaXon likes a couple player props for today that are Kamara for the Portland Trailblazers over his 1.5 assists and Wiggins over his 20.5 points. And then there's two more plays that jaXon likes and jaXon liked in yesterday's video as well. So check those out. Outlier 7-day free link trial in the video as well. 13 game slate. Let's try to make some money today, man. Let's try to make some money today. Also check out Moneyball at 50% off using that promo code as well. That'll be the show for today. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Be back tomorrow. I think it's a lot less games, so I won't do a night show tonight. But enjoy your Monday. I'll catch you in the next one.